for a recession that's decimating
was it a rooting?
Families.
I mean,
if I could just finish.
But it wasn't passing. He did seem to say, I sort of hope. I mean, I don't.
Excuse me. He said he was excited about the opportunity. You can read his words, and you can read into them anything you want. The fact is, come to California, we still have people who are struggling because the housing market took such a hit. Several states, California, Florida, and Arizona, were the worst hit, and I know what it was like there. People in tears, families in trouble. And when you hear, it's kind of the Wall Street thing, greed. You know, it doesn't matter what happens to you. You're not important, America's families, but I'm important. I can add, you know, millions more to my portfolio. But that's not all. You say you want to make America great, and when you have a chance to create jobs, you manufacture in China, which is what he did. You want to make America great, and you insult, you know, 2/3 of the people, women and disabled and veterans and Latinos and Muslims, and I could go on and on. That doesn't make us great. We're great when we work together, when we root for each other. And I think this is a very deep point with me, and I think a lot of Americans, not just Democrats, but Republicans and independents as well. We know the recipe for greatness, and that's when we all work together for the common good, for us all to succeed. And when we all succeed, it's a wonderful thing. And when somebody's in trouble, don't try to make profit from that trouble. It's just absolutely wrong.
Let me ask you, sounds like you're basically saying it's a values hit. You know, what are the values of his candidate? I buy that. Let me ask you about the emails. Why shouldn't voters be concerned that at the end of the day, Secretary Clinton did seem to not want to fully comply, not want to be fully transparent at the end of the day? I mean, that's what you read this report, and there were enough safeguards where she could have been more transparent, and she chose at a fork in the road to be less transparent. Why shouldn't voters be concerned about that?
Well, I don't look at it exactly that way. I have here, and I'm not going to read it. This is the conclusion of the report. I hope you can see it. It's very short.
Unfortunately, it's all white on our screen, but fair enough.
Well,
that's
I'll
all
put
right.
it down. Sorry about that.
No worries.
It's very short paragraph. It does not mention Secretary Clinton's name. As you know, I know you read it.
Yes.
What it basically says is this. It says there is a systemic problem in the State Department, in the office of the Secretary, that started under Colin Powell with the secretaries and/or their staffs, and that none of them follow the rules and made copies of the personal emails. Now, Secretary Clinton is the only one who's actually apologized for us. I'm really sorry. I should have done it better. And she's the only one to turn over emails. The rest were destroyed by Colin Powell. So the bottom line is, and you want to get to the bottom line, take politics out of the equation. This was wrong. They all should have complied. And now Secretary Kerry is complying. But when you read this taxpayer-funded report, in the conclusion, her name isn't even mentioned. They say everybody did it. It was wrong. And she's the only one that said, I made a mistake.
No,
Here
I understand that.
55,000 emails. I
understand that, but what it does is it feeds a pattern here, or the perceived pattern, and I understand others would say, hey, some of these charges against her on transparency haven't been fair in the past. But let's set that aside. It feeds this idea, though, that you know what, she certainly didn't go out of her way to be more transparent. She basically went to the minimum standards of legality, or defensible legality in this case. That's not a high standard, Senator.
I don't look at that. I don't look at it that way at all. You can ask any senator. We all use our personal emails. There's nothing nefarious about it. Clearly, she didn't have that put into the routine in her office, that if it was sent, it was copied. Neither did Colin Powell. He didn't do it either. Does it make it right? No. They should have done it. But this is such a nothing burger. Well, honestly, if I felt differently, if I felt that Hillary Clinton tried to hide her emails, she turned over 55,000 emails. I found out the lovely notes she wrote to Barbara Mikulski and to her staff, and how caring she is about them, and that she wrote some cute things about gefilte fish in there. I mean, really, I just don't see it as being nefarious. Let me tell you what I do see it as. It's another opportunity for the Republicans to distort a report And they're going to do that, just like they did on all the Benghazi reports, just that they continue to do. Why don't they just talk about the issues in this election? We have a candidate, Hillary Clinton, who before the cameras were on her cared about kids.